What up? You get involved. Uh-oh, it's not recording. God dang it. Yo, Gunther, get your mans.
Tell them a little bit about networking. Why is it important?
Oh my God.
My lesson with that.
Well, honestly, I think the reason why I stress networking so much is because you failed and had someone to observe you and coach you through it.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't really know that I've failed in the similar way that he failed, and I didn't have nobody there, and I'm fumbling opportunities left and right.
Yeah, but he don't tell his story to everybody.
Nah, I never do.
He be sharing my story to everybody.
I do, because my students need to hear somebody who's closer to their age. You know what I mean? No, they don't always want to hear about my failures. Come on, now they be like, "Yo, you old brother."
Back in my day.
Way back in my day, before we had cell phones, I made it with my bare hands. Sent a pigeon. They got my business card in about a week. And networking is. It's so important, and I think because of how much I navigated the education system, having a bachelor's, having a master's, working on a doctorate, and then the certifications I have this wealth of knowledge, but I had to get out of my own shell because what people don't realize, and I need to get this out the way now, especially on episode 1A or 1B, whatever you want to call it, I'm extremely introverted. I've been very socially awkward.
Wait. Hold on. Say that one more time. What?
Introverted.
You introverted.
Socially awkward.
You got a podcast?
I know.
This
man right here is an introvert too. Look it up, Jay-Z.
Let's go.
He's an introvert.
Gems.
I say that to say it's about challenging yourself, but what they don't teach you on the way up, your parents sometimes don't always know, your community doesn't always know, your network is your net worth, and that's a very real phrase. And so, because I knew how bad my experiences were, I didn't want anybody I cared for, who I connected with, to go through what I went through. So he's a student that took me up on those offers because I'm like, look, I'm going to be out anyway. So if you want to come, I'll see you there. Here's this event. Here's the type of that'll be there. Here's the type of people that'll be there. You might want to prepare a spiel or something, right? So we'll talk about it. I'll make some handoff introductions to a couple people, and then you got to do some on your own.
What he ended up doing was he took me to this event where there was several like CEOs, politicians, very like high
profile people from the entire region.
Mind you, I just learned what the word networking meant because back in high school and in college, like they didn't really teach us that. Now they're trying to start teaching that in college. Now that I saw that, but where I went to in high school, which will remain nameless, but you guys already know those involved. They were actually taking courses out because of the superintendent at the time.
Oh wow!
They were removing courses after courses, and they left just the general education. So when it came to anything that had to do with networking, they did have speaking because of the whole like dual enrollment thing.
Yeah.
But when it came to actual networking, there wasn't a real opportunity there. But I was involved in certain programs, but it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
So being in that position really made me uncomfortable, but at the same time, it made me grow and learn from there because I started seeing how these people move that where I wanted to be in a position in. Because at the time, I was just starting my business. I was on day one. And day one, no one really knew who I was.
Yep.
And so what was the guy? I think he owned like a franchise of a bakery or something like.
It's not a franchise. It's a big corporation.
It was
that
a big.
Will still go nameless.
Yeah, it will go nameless because you got to pay us for that.
They may sponsor us at some point.
You got to pay us for that.
Because we can go to that event again.
Yes, sir.
With much more purpose.
That's a good idea. And we talked about our story, but then we'll reveal it once they become a sponsor.
All shall be revealed.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Look at that. We just be creating, you dig?
But basically, it came to a point where I told him, I was like, I'm going to approach this guy by the end of the night and hand him my business card. But I didn't really think of like how I was going to execute it. I just thought I'm going to get this done and I'm going to do it. And the night came to an end. The guy was walking out. I just approached him and I froze. And I told him, "Hi, my name is Louis. I do videos. here's my business card. And it was the most awkward interaction ever because anxiety built up. I was stressed out. I was like, I don't know what to say to this guy
freeze.
that I could bring value to. We all had an experience where we felt anxiety at some point. But did you ever had help processing those thoughts?
Our mind is full of gems, and sometimes we might feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed because life happens.
Today's sponsored gem is BetterHelp.
Here to help you be the best you. Now, let's keep it real. We all need to vent, and doing it on social media just ain't it.
Talk to your therapist in private, an online environment at your convenience. And you can communicate by video, audio, or unlimited messaging.
There's a wide range of experts in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network.
What are you waiting for?
Join the 3 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist.
You fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you can get matched with a therapist in as little as 48 hours.
Go to betterhelp.com/empower610 for 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp.
That's betterhelp.com/empower610.
Get matched with a therapist who will listen and help. BetterHelp, better performance, better life.
But he took my card, and you could just tell that he was like, all right, this is a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of walked away. But from that point then, I was like, damn, I just fell flat on my face.
Yep.
But at least I had the courage to do it.
Dang right. I'm happy you didn't freeze to the point where you didn't do it, because we started to leave the event and we were outside, and I was like, I try to do reflection things with students, especially on experiences like that, because you're so far out of your normal zone. A lot of this learning happens off your campus. So we're just talking about how the night went, who did you meet, who stood out, and he's like, yeah, but I really wanted to meet what's his name from this company. And literally right after he says that, dude comes walking out with his people, and I was like, yo, there he goes right there. So it was interesting the way that happened, and I got to watch the whole fumble happen and I let it happen. But then after, we talked about it, and it was a great learning opportunity. And then the next time I saw you out networking, do you remember this? When we were at Cosmopolitan, when it was still open?
Yeah.
I don't mind saying that because they don't exist anymore. It was moving the crowd, meeting all these people. We was out like he had been doing it for years. The next time, now he might have done some stuff in between that I don't know about to practice, but
yeah, first couple times we went together, and then it got to a point where I met some of the people that knew you, and that knew me. Then they invited me to a networking event, and then that just kind of expanded from there. And then every time I met someone else, I already practiced what they call an elevator pitch, which is basically like a 10-second introduction on who you are, what you do, and what are you doing here.
Yep.
And from that point, a lot of people, what they started telling me was, I seen you in that last event.
Yep.
And you've been talking to some very important people, and I'm just wondering, like, what do you do?
That's an awesome thing.
And then from that point on, that's how it scales up, and that's what a lot of people sleep on, because
facts.
A lot of people that do what I do when it comes to video, photography, or any type of art, they don't put themselves in a position to get paid for their creativity.
Nah.
And they don't put themselves in a position to meet the people that are willing to pay them.
Yep, that's facts. They stay in the comfort zone.
Exactly. So that's one of the things that I noticed from the beginning, and I told myself, I gotta be in the mix, because before I was in the wrong mix. I was with the wrong crowd, and I was going the wrong direction. But if I change that, you know how they say, like, the 5 people that you're around with.
Facts.
That is 100% true, because you'll limit your vision if you surround yourself with people that have a limited vision themselves, or they already gave up. So we can't be stressing about something that's beyond our control. We gotta be stressing about what's in our control, and how are we going to find solutions to this.
Yep. And I'm big on solutions. Even when I first started teaching, which was 2022, so 11 years ago, when I first started teaching at the college level, sometimes some of my students would go on rants to just complain about different things in the world. And I said, you know what? We're going to carve out 10 minutes. 5 minutes, I'm going to let y'all complain. What's the issues? I would write every single complaint on the board. And then, are y'all done? Are y'all done? Y'all done? then they would get exhausted. Yeah, we're done. All right, so everything y'all wanted to complain about, let's talk solutions. I'm not gonna let y'all complain for free.
Yes, sir.
And we're not gonna do that. And I get it. There's a lot of issues in the world, but the only thing I can control is my mind and what I design to get out of things. And I like to create, and I think we can all stand to create.